God. Oh, jeez, another tall one. There we go. So I want to apologize beforehand for this horrendous lighting and a lack of focus that seems to be focusing on the star screams over there. But, hello everyone, and welcome back to the next of our Transformers reviews, and today we have Yolopark AMK series Optimus Prime. This thing is so cool and so good for the price. I'm not sponsored like a lot of people who review this guy are, unfortunately, but I definitely didn't get him for free. But still, the price is fantastic, and this is your first impressions, but like, look at him. He's really cool. The only thing that I don't like about him is that from some angles, his neck is really slim. So you gotta have him like looking down sometimes to make his neck not visible. Like, you can really tell that it's just a ball joint holding it up, but that is about it. Ignore that. But yeah, fantastic. Obviously, like, looks beautiful and so accurate and so posable. And before we get into the beautiful figure that is this thing, I'm going to move him off to the side here, and we are going to look at his packaging, which I was actually using as a display stand. Or not a display stand, but a stand for my camera. Right on the front of the box, I'm going to go handheld with this. We have Yolopark Optimus Prime AMK Series 20cm model kit. Then various pictures of Optimus Prime. This is an official Hasbro product, which is pretty cool. Ages 8 and up. I don't know about that. I wouldn't give this to an 8-year-old. Unless, no, you know what? I would. If he was a big Transformers fan. Yolopark. That looks like it says Yolopart. I think it's a... Like, I always think it says that every time I look at it. That's Yolopark. Optimus Prime. That's the same picture. Then I'm not going to show you how to assemble him because I don't want to take him apart. But here's a brief rundown of how you assemble him. The shoulder and arm will come separate, and you are going to connect those. You're going to put this piece onto the front, this piece onto the front of the shoulder. It'll clip in. Then this piece is kind of precarious, but it'll tab into the back of the shoulder. This will tab onto the side via a slot in the side of the smokestack, and then you attach a hand of your choosing and peg it firmly onto the body. I made the mistake when I first got this guy of having the limbs like loosely pegged in, and it looks super weird. But yeah, you can push them in as far as they will go, and it will be fine. Then of course, the chest plate actually comes attached, so you won't need to attach that. And then this assembly is pretty standard. Same with the leg and the foot. Then this piece goes on the knee, which will be bare. This piece goes on the front of the thigh. This piece goes on the back of the thigh. This one, I believe, goes on... Where does that go? I don't know where that goes. That was already connected on mine, apparently. And then the different hands, you can attach whichever one you want. And there's just a very brief rundown of how to assemble him. You can also see the back here, bottom, Transformers Rise of the Beast. That looks really nice. Then the top, Rise of the Beast. Move this off to the side. Actually, no, don't move it off to the side. It's my camera stand. Bring the box back in here. Bring the screwdriver case. Bring the phone stand. Assemble. And now we can actually look at him. Now, getting onto the figure himself, he does not transform. So if you're here for a transformation, he doesn't do that. But what he does do is look fantastic and pose fantastic. You know, I'll show you that when we get to articulation, but there's something pretty crazy that he does that I've never seen before. But yeah, obviously looking at details, I'm going to have him off to the side here because my lamp is the sun at the moment because I don't have any light bulbs in my overhead light. But yeah, looking at the chest here, very accurate. The head, beautiful. You can actually take off these pieces, which I might just glue on, unless I'm doing a battle damage thing. But oh my gosh, this freaking dog. You're going to have to deal with that if it keeps going, but it's just a dog going off in the background. Oh, the pipe was a bit loose. Or smokestack, sorry. Anyway, he fell forward because the ankles do work a bit weirdly. Anyway, so we'll talk about his success. Don't fall over. Just look at him. Look at him. His thighs do look Like his thighs and hips look a bit big and disproportionate from certain angles. Like if you have his chest angled forward and you're looking at him from like this angle, that's just a bit too thick. I'm terribly sorry for that. But let's go into his accessories. Unfortunately, the only ones he comes with are a few pairs of extra hands. We get these two like open hands, which I try to use as like a relaxed hand, but they're too like spread out, so it doesn't really work, unfortunately. I wish he had a different pair that was more relaxed. Then we have this, which this is mainly, like, you can use this for anything, but what I like to use it for is the whole, for today, in the name of, for today, in the name of freedom, we take the battle to them. But I'm sorry about the cut in the bit there, but the sun in the background here kind of messed me up. Anyway, yeah. Then this is an oddity gun holding hand. Now, a lot of people have speculated that they'll release an upgrade kit at some point that will come with a gun, but what is actually going to happen, I'm not sure if this is a reliable source, but the Sheep Wielder said so I'm going to assume that's correct, because he was sponsored by them. I heard that when they release the second wave of AMK figures, they will come with some upgrades for the current AMK figures, being Optimus here, or Optimus Prime here, then Primal and Bumblebee. And one of those will be a an ion blaster for our boy Optimus. And maybe even a handgun, who knows? Or gun hand, rather. But now let's get into probably what will be the length. Actually, no, we'll just talk about admiring the details here. All of that, and the knees, like, bend nice and naturally with a filler there. And not so much there, but, you know. The wrists do look a bit unnatural from some angles. Like, if you look at them from... Actually, no, they look fine from here. But if you see, like, how they actually work, which is they're like that, and then you have to bend them like that so that it looks proper. And you can't really get his fist facing forward, otherwise they'll be at an angle like this, which does get annoying in some poses. And he is a bit loose on some parts, like mine's ab crunch doesn't like to stay in place. But on the good part, or on the bright side, his head is extremely stiff. So, I think that's where all that went. Anyway, beautiful details everywhere. On the back looks fantastic. Like, look at that spine piston action thing. Now let's talk about his articulation. Let's get this over with. His head is on this little section that can go up and down, as well as the head being on a ball joint. You can do 360. It's really stiff on mine. Yeah, you can look up that much and down that much. So lots of head movement. He can do side to side. Good enough. So expression, very expressive. Now, he's like doing the smooth criminal lean. Wait, can he? Can he? I'm going to see if he could do a successful smooth criminal lean later. Now, for the shoulders, the shoulder, like, covers themselves move all the way up like that. And then, so does the smokestack. Moves out a bit for accommodation. So what you're going to do here is you can move this out, then, and the arm itself can go up. Oh, that's not in all the way. It can go all the way up. Like, all the way you need it to. It doesn't look too good because of the shoulder, but the joint is capable of it. Anyway, but how the shoulder joint works is you basically move the smokestack out to get some extra range there. And then, obviously 360. He's got all the basic articulation, so I won't bother covering all the basic stuff, but double jointed elbow. And the way that the elbow works is pretty neat. You can see this piece here hinges forward to make it look more mechanical and alive. It's one of my favorite things about this guy is that the articulation feels alive with how it moves. a butterfly joint, which is really freaking cool. Can he do the... Oh yeah, he can cross his arms. Prime is not best pleased with you, as you can tell. That's really cool. I haven't tried that pose yet. That looks really nice. Niece? That is his niece. Now, obviously, bicep swivel. Like I said, I'm not going to cover most of the basic articulation points. Wrist is on a ball joint, so it can move downward, it can move inward, it can move outward-ish. And, sorry, I did the yawn. Much better. Anyway, now he has an ab crunch, which is really cool. Back and forward. And, of course, side to side as well. Well, not of course, but he can do side to side. Then for the waist here, it is obviously swivel, but it's not the best because of how everything gets in the way, which is unfortunate, but you can still get some good movement out of it. Then the legs move forward and back as far as you need them to, but basically these panels move out of the way and are on, I think, ball joints. Then these, the butt flaps here, for lack of a better term, move in like together, weirdly. So you'll always have to have them like that. And the way the legs work is pretty cool too. If you don't want to have the hip skirts flip out, you can like shift the leg downward so that he can bend his leg more natural, which is really cool. Then outward is kind of limited in some like circumstances, but you can definitely get enough outward movement for Optimus Prime poses. Thigh swivel, and this is magical to me the first time I saw it. So we got 1, 2, triple jointed knee. Optimus Prime has a triple jointed knee. That is, as far as I know, brand new territory for any Transformers figure. Which is so cool, especially an official Hasbro thing. On an official Hasbro toy, that is crazy to see. I'm going to move the hands off to the side for now. Now, moving further down, you do have like a hinge for the ankles. Then you have tilts in and out, and a swivel. This is pretty cool. It has a like toe joint for additional foot posing. And I believe that is it for his articulation. So a lot of it, that took up like a good portion of the video. I think you might also, you can rotate slightly at the chest too. Like, who else does that? Who am I thinking? I think it's the RTB mainline Optimus. Now, speaking of RTB mainline Optimus, let's do some comparisons with Prime, with yolopark Optimus here. So here he is with mainline RTB Optimus. Yeah, I've actually decided I'm gonna display these guys with this guy like looking up at him like a big brother or something, because that's hilarious. Here he is with a small Voyager, which you already saw, but still. Siege Impactor. For an average Voyager, we got Legacy Tarn. He's a pretty good height. And for a big Voyager / Studio Series Voyager, Revenge of the Fallen Studio Series Megatron. This is a pretty, like, close size. Then we'll go new leader class. We got Armada Megs. Legacy Armada Megs, to be specific. For a deluxe scale, we have Counterpunch, or Punch, Counterpunch. Whoa. And of course, here he is with Core Class Ironhide. You thought I forgot about him, didn't you? I should be using him more often than I am. which is why he's going to help me show off Prime's extra hands. So their hands are on a ball joint. They just kind of pop off. Although some of the hands do have slight stress marks forming, which worries me a little bit. Anyway, now let's choose one of these fine hands to attach to Optimus Prime here. Here he is with the gun holding hand, and this one is interesting. Like I said, he does not currently have a gun to put it in. I've seen a lot of people say Bumblebee Prime's, or Studio Series Bumblebee Optimus's blaster works pretty well. I unfortunately do not have Studio Series Bumblebee Optimus Prime, so I won't do that. But this hand does fit very nicely. Next up, we are going to do the... Oh, I dropped it. I mean, Ironhide dropped it. The klutz. We are going to do the jazz hands, or splayed out hands, or whatever you want to call them. Again, these are all on simple ball joints. Here's Optimus Prime doing jazz hands, just to brighten up your day. These hands I find work really well in coordination with the butterfly joints to make him look really... You see, his feet are a little, finicky on my copy, but that is not for all copies, simply mine. But yeah, the butterfly joints can make these hands look really dynamic, and I love that. This thing just feels so lifelike. Like, you can feel the energy, and the life energy emanating off of it. That makes it sound like it's possessed, but I swear it isn't. Probably. But yeah, these hands are some of my favorites. Now, at the risk of being repetitive and doing the bit again, I'm just going to switch in the next hand. This is the pointing hand, the two fingers, which can also be used for a cool salute thing that I have going on here, or whatever this gesture is. And of course you can use it for the signature Optimus Prime pointing poses that I'm not sure if that's really a thing, but for some reason I imagine Optimus Prime pointing as being a thing. But yeah, that is pretty cool. And of course, since it is a two-fingered point, he can do the famous "we take the battle to them" thing from Revenge of the Fallen, or Dark of the Moon rather, which was one of the best Optimus Prime speeches he's ever given. Peter Cullen absolutely destroyed it. And yeah, he can also use this as a finger gun since he doesn't come with any real guns. So yeah, that's all for his accessories. Going to switch him back into the jazz hands. Where is his other jazz hand? I found it. Now, we are going to get a nice ending shot going with, let's get him in a cool action pose. If you watch the movie, you'll recognize this pose. Anyway, thank you everybody so much for watching. Do all the YouTube stuff, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next review, which will be coming very soon. Maybe you'll even be able to figure it out if I point you at my shelf at the moment. Anyway.